I'm Denise Merrill, and I'm Connecticut's Secretary of the State. In addition to elections, my office has the honor of hosting a number of functions that link us to Connecticut's business community. Connecticut's a great place to work, and it's a great place to work with. We take pride in our local businesses, our printing shops, chocolatiers, toffee makers, brewers, vintners, bakers, to say nothing of our manufacturers, are second to none. We're lucky to have them, but we think the rest of the world should know about them too. We're here today to celebrate and bring to your attention Export Week in Connecticut. It will be March 14th to the 18th this year. What is this all about? Well, Export Week is an opportunity to bridge that divide between the Constitution state and the world. It's an exciting opportunity for our businesses to increase their ability to sell their goods and services abroad. You know, I have to say, when I was majority leader, we did a report on Connecticut businesses. And one of the things that came out of that report was the fact that export markets were the most likely to expand our businesses in Connecticut. It's a real opportunity for Connecticut. There's lots going on internationally that we can take advantage of. The event for March 14th to 18th, Export Week, will include presentations on going global, techniques for advertising abroad, market research for exporting, globalizing your web presence, numerous other topics that will help businesses, particularly small businesses who may not have thought about exporting their products abroad. It will help them access the global marketplace. This is a partnership between my office, state, federal, and private partners. We're putting this event on because we understand that if our state's smaller companies are growing, everyone benefits. We've partnered on these events, by the way, for many years now, 5 years since I've been in office. We've offered webinars that have helped thousands of businesses access market expertise to go global. My office's role is to reach out to those businesses that are registered in our state. We have a unique ability to do that and inform them about how they can benefit from Export Week. So we have literally thousands of businesses that register with the state, many of them very small. And this way, we're able to reach them and tell them about this exciting and free opportunity. We will send an email to all these entrepreneurs and notify them about the kinds of trainings that will be available during Export Week. We can make sure the message gets out and that there's a huge untapped global market for our state's goods and services. I can't say this often enough. We need to help these businesses access these tremendous new markets. There is more we can and will do. This is a start. So I'm here today working with my friend Ann Evans from the U.S. Department of Commerce's International Trade Administration Director is her title. We're lucky to have her here in Connecticut. I've worked with her firsthand. We made 2 trade missions to China. We're proud that it resulted in a deal to sell firefighting helicopters to China, a multi-million-dollar contract for one of our corporations. That's only the beginning. There's a lot more to come, and I'd like to invite Ann to say a few more words about what this is all about. Ann.
Well, thank you very much, Secretary Merrill. I mean, this is very exciting. Here in Connecticut, we export about $15 billion worth of goods every year. The world is open to us. As the Secretary said, 95% of the world's consumers are outside of the U.S., not just outside of Connecticut. And this is an opportunity for companies to learn how to go global. It is a week-long, it's not one event, it's a week-long event. And it is events that, training you could get from your desk. Log on to a webinar. It's just a question of going on to the District Export Council website, which is www.ctexporters.com, where there are opportunities to register for these webinars and seminars. We have seminars down in Stamford, we have throughout the state, and webinars that you can get right from your desk. This is a way for, as the Secretary said, smaller companies to learn. And that's what we need to do. We have companies that are here. They're planted here. And we need to give them some fertilizer to grow and to grow globally. And that's what this is about. It's about growing globally. And we want to do that. And that's what my office is about. That's what we in government are here to help. I mean, we are here to help. Yesterday, I was with Commissioner Smith and the governor at a large event they had for economic development officials from all the cities and towns. And all of these economic development officials were asking me, how can we help our local smaller manufacturers, service providers, to find the global marketplace? And I said, next month, Export Week. Because we need to do this. We need to reach out to the world, and we need to teach our companies how to do that. So, any questions?
So how many companies, or what the percentage of companies that aren't exporting that could be?
Well, we have about 5,600 exporters in Connecticut, according to the Census Bureau, who tracks exports. And those are exports that actually get into some kind of a package or go on a ship or a plane. That doesn't include things like software and technology that doesn't have an export documentation with it. So that may be 8,000. We have how many companies? We have 300,000 companies in Connecticut. Now, a nail salon is not going to export. A Subway shop is not going to export. But when you look at the smaller manufacturers, which we have, gosh, probably 30 or 40,000, some of those could, okay? And also service providers. We have architects that do work overseas, and we're talking about some of that. We're talking about how to make your website globally friendly, and that's the storefront. That's Connecticut's storefront, or their websites. So there are opportunities. Not every company is going to export, but there are lots of opportunities.
What's the biggest export?
Aerospace.
Yeah.
I mean, we
How about after that?
general machinery. Pharma, I mean, we export about $6.5 billion to Airbus alone, and that's in engines and components and structure. So if you look at why France is our top trading partner, it's a little bit because that's where the airplanes are. But we have a lot of biopharma, we have a lot of transportation equipment, and just general manufacturing equipment, things that make things. They're afraid. They're afraid. Okay, I mean, and we're here to help them. I mean, they're afraid about how do I get paid. I mean, I got a call on Monday from a small company who said, oh, we've gotten this from our website. We've got a inquiry, and I'm a little worried about how to get paid. How do I do the documentation? How do I do? And we help. I mean, that's what our office is all about, is helping you do that. Training on getting paid, working with letters of credit, things like that. XM Bank, which is a government bank, just got reauthorized, thank God, has credit insurance that is available to small companies. So it's really taking that step. Or, and exporting is also Canada and Mexico. I'll say to a company, do you sell anything in Ohio or Michigan? Oh, yeah. I said, well, it's only like another 100 miles or Maine to Canada. Well, but it's an export. Well, we can help you with that. There's a lot, it's a market. It's a good market.
I would also add, a lot of it is just how do you make that connection? Where do you find the place to market your goods? And I saw that firsthand when I went on the trade mission to China, where once you make those connections, they spread. We also were there representing, besides the firefighting helicopters, we represented a small company that has sold an e-waste software to one of the largest e-waste recycling companies in the world, probably the biggest in the world. It's called Sound. And there's a tremendous market there. I mean, think of, this is a method to separate solid waste from the mercury and other products that are in your cell phone. Well, there's a billion people in China, and most of them have cell phones. So when you think about the size of that potential market, it's amazing. And this company, it's in Danbury, and they have a very interesting method of separating the waste. So that's just an example of something you wouldn't think of that's right here in Connecticut.
No. It's being held all over the place. Okay, so when you look at, let me get my list here. When you look at some of them, if it's a webinar, basically it's at your desk. So you log on to a website and it's at your desk, okay? So what happens is the 101 Glowing Global is at UConn Stanford, okay? United Illuminating has given us a location where it's great parking in Orange to do the global advertising. We're going to be at Cirque at Rocky Hill doing the export finance. We're doing in Cromwell at a hotel, we're doing the IP. Shipman and Goodwin is giving us their offices in Hartford. So we have stuff both on your, at your desk and in person. And Secretary brought up a great thing about finding customers. Part of what we do with the Department of Commerce is we have 120 offices, and they're overseas, that help U.S. companies find customers, and they're in our embassies and consulates. So that is part of it. A couple of these are looking at opportunities in Europe. What are the opportunities? And we can help you find that customer.
Just talk about the need for, an export week as opposed to an export day. I mean, there's a lot to learn.
There's a lot to learn, and we wanted to do, if we had the resources, I'd love to do an export month, but we are government, and we have limited amount of people and places and money. We're lucky we got some sponsors to come in. Aer Lingus has come in as part of our Export Week sponsorship, and we've got some companies also. So we're very fortunate that we have both the federal and state government working together, and also some private companies that are willing to support us.
And as Denise said, she'll be working, or you'll be working together to get these companies that could benefit, to attend
Yes.
these seminars or webinars.
Yep.
Right?
No, it's very important, and Secretary Merrill has been such a great advocate on international trade. I can't ask for anybody better to be an advocate and friend. The state of Connecticut has partnered with the U.S. government. We are one of the few states that has an integrated partnership on exports. We work hand in hand on everything. So what you don't have are double staff.
I guess it would depend on the industry, but how much, if they exported, how much more could they, increase the amount of business they could?
Well, they can increase it dramatically. The other thing is that when you're an international company, you actually have a better presence to your domestic suppliers. Also, when you're building more, often the cost of each product becomes a little bit less. So, being a worldwide supplier also gets the attention of larger OEMs that you may not be working with. So, and I think it makes you a little better company. Great, thank you.